Hi. Do you suck at leading? Do you hate being kicked by extremely experienced teammates just because of you? Do you want to show them all who the real boss is? Then you've come to the right place. Because I am here to teach you how you can become a better leader. It will definitely not going to ruin your gameplay in any way possible. The first and the most important step is to have good, I mean really good teammates. Your teammates are one of the most important team member on this game, and so does the leader. Without your teammates, your enemy with the right weapons can easily kill your army and have little problems rushing your base. Without a leader, your teammates can't do much with an NPC leader. Because auto-spawn is going to drain all the SP for a horrible push and not spend any coins on upgrading anything. Okay, as soon as you click on the leader button thing, you go to Build Manager, go to the orange and build shop and bank as early as possible. If you want to move a building, then you need to click on a building and click move. You can rotate your building by pressing R. It should be close to the hometown, or as some people call it, spawn. After that, you click at the hometown or spawn, and on the right side, get 5 miners early on. Don't question about it. It's a must-have in every single game, unless you're going morph only for fun. 5 miners is basically half of your income. In Onslaught and High Assembly, there are 2-man cannons that you can move or sell. With the 2-man cannons you put the first one near the town hall and the second one as far as you possibly can. You can have different uses with man cannons, but it's not that important to learn as a beginner. After you have 5 miners, the next thing you do is upgrading shop and bank to level 1. It's simple. You click at the bank and click upgrade. The same thing applies to shop. Why? Upgrading bank increases interest and capacity, helping your teammates out with earning more coins, while upgrading shop provides your team with better weapons, equipment and more. Building up morph is optimal, it's really good, especially on adrenaline, but you can go without morph if your teammates isn't using morph at all. Don't upgrade shop, bank and morph too often, though in the early game, because you'll have to focus on other things like army and economy. Speaking of economy, build 10 coin drills as early as possible. As the name suggests, it makes money for you. There are times that someone is rushing directly to your base. So you should build in some cheap walls or ramp walls to slow him down, or preventing him from entering your base. Using recovery station works too. There's more to the economy, but I'll talk about it later. For now, let's focus on the army. For you to be able to create an army, you go to the red color and build an infantry spawner first. Like really. Everyone uses it in almost every situation. 6 infantry spawners is good enough. Of course, you can build more. So, clicking on the green arrow, you'll go to the spawn manager, click at the plus sign and this extra thing will pop up. On the purple button, it takes a bit of coins and SP for you to upgrade your SP income and will increase the prize over time, the further you upgrade it. On the bottom, there's the orange button where you can buy SP by spending coins. Only do this if you're in a tough situation or want to do a big push quickly. Don't use auto spawn as it will quickly drain your SP, unless you really have to go do something in real life. So, to be able to spawn an unit, you'll need to click on the unit you want to spawn, and click on the correct spawner. Just make sure you have enough SP for it. Different units can only spawn on specific spawners, like siege units spawn on factories while giant monster, nuclears and giants spawn from giant spawners. Or you can spawn an airship on a boss spawner. Why not airport? Because it's a boss. But the airship comes from the airport. Never mind. On the left screen on top of the GUI, you see that we only can have a max of 5 units. To increase the population, you will need to go back to the build manager and go to the green thing and build research facility. That's it. You have maxed out your population by spending just 1,000 coins. Go nuts with it. Oh, and also some units that have guns like soldiers and mafias require a recovery station to refill their ammo. Others that has taken damage also needs recovery station to recover their HP. It's free, so you should build it. After that, you can focus more on the economy by selling 2 coin drills and buying 1 super coin drill. Only do this if you have 1,000 coins or more. Make sure to place the super coin drill at rich spots. Super coin drill produce more coins than 2 coin drill, even with the 150 pre-cooldown. Okay, you want to spawn better units? Go to the hometown and upgrade it. That's all what you have to do to get better units to spawn. I recommend spawning in Martial Artist in the very early game and Guess in the early to mid game. On the bottom of the screen, you have all these abilities you can use. You just need a bit of coins and a research facility for you to be able to research it. Coin Bags drops a bag of coins for your teammates. Coin Rush makes every enemy killed drop coins. Airstrike sends in a bomber plane to bomb the ground, and Missile Strike will send in a missile that deals a lot of damage with its explosion. You can use it to bomb your enemy's economy into oblivion. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Oh fuck. I got kicked. Never mind. Don't eco bomb your enemy. Your enemies and your teammates will vote kick you out. Anyways, Extraction is a helicopter that transports infantry units including players to a spot where you want them to land to. To do this, click on the spot where the helicopter will pick up the units, and click on the spot again where you want them to drop. Just make sure the anti-air won't shoot it down. Turret drop shots down enemies near your base. Make sure to use this when someone is rushing in your base or when you're in a tough situation. You can only use turret drop near your base. Regeneration Shield heals your town hall and only on your town hall. It does cost a bit of coins, so it's probably better to ask your teammates to fix the town hall. The nuke should be only researched on the very late game where you don't have any other choice to defeat your enemy. It costs 25,000 coins to research, and 17,500 coins to build a nuclear silo. So in total, it cost 42,500 coins, making it just as expensive as maxing out a bank to level 5. The nuke will launch automatically on the nearest building or siege unit. Use airstrike or missile strike to get rid of the siege units. Make sure to cover the nuke with forts, so it's much more difficult to destroy it. There are 2 different modes: Standard and Adrenaline. Standard is like, quote-unquote, a normal mode. The units require the exact amount of SP. You'll get SP in a normal way. Units don't have a special ability, just normal. While on Adrenaline, you'll get less SP, but most units is free to spawn. Puncher to Amples are free. The new units that has been released a few months ago is free. Just the 25 seconds P won't be taken, but for some reason siege units and aerial units, planes and helicopters will take up SP, while the guest units are free for some reason, even though they're much more expensive to spawn. I don't understand why. Just the units that is unlocked after upgrading your town hall to level 3 costs SP. And on Adrenaline, every single unit's of an impossible ability. For example, punchers can run, while flickers shoot out 2 explosions, mafias throw dynamites, the good stuff of course. And also, some morph units is affected too. Not all of it though. On the defense section, you can build canopies or super canopies to protect your miners from eco-bombing. Watchtowers have gunner, soldier, sniper, and rocket noob if you maxed it out. It's also able to deplete the cloak effect on cloaked enemies, basically removing the invisible effect on enemies. AA Gatling turrets is used against assault helicopters and UFOs, while AA missile turrets is used against helicopters, planes and airship boss. Hellfire turret is almost useless because of its horrible accuracy. Don't use it. Plasma turret is good against players, and giants such as nuclears and giant monster. Generator is used to repair other turrets slowly, watchtower is not included. You can use the forts to cover up the generator from base bombing. Or else. Also you can use forts to make a line of them, so your enemies will have a difficult time breaking in because of its massive 22,000 hit points. Just make sure the green arrow in front of the fort is facing at your enemy, or they will climb up over your fort and get through inside your base. Fort also has a machine gun turret and a missile turret. One of my teammates in the zombie faction called Leolol YouTube said, it deals a lot of damage against nuclears. Although it's quote-unquote inaccurate, because the turret is server-sided and not client-sided. Gates is often used on mid to late game. Make sure to always turn auto gates off, and keep it closed at all times. You can manually open it up if the siege units is stuck from somewhere, or your teammates asked you to open it up. Don't put the recovery station in front of the gates. Put it behind it. Because players with sledgehammers can get over your recovery station and over your gates. And also, some units like siege units, giants and player that is morphed into a siege unit, can get through gates like it didn't even exist in the first place. As far as I know, almost every unit can be good at specific things, can counter against other units and can be countered. Let me just tell you the most important ones. Martial art is generally as good against players in the early game. Its own bare skin is able to deflect bullets. With its takedown ability, it can deal massive amounts of damage to enemies if the enemy has under 50% health points. With its takedown, it can even kill Swelter quickly, only if his HP is only half. It's really good if they are grouped together, however they lack the mobility or speed to catch up with the others. It can be countered by better melee weapons such as sledgehammer, giant blade, grenades, not impact grenades though, and much more. Its impossible ability on adrenaline is able to heal itself. He won't move though during its healing state. Mafia noobs will use a pistol. If he killed an enemy in any way possible, then he will switch his weapons to Tommy gun. He is really good at taking down melee units that has similar hit points, enemies that has lower hit points, and retards that holds W all the time. He can compete against Guest Puncher if he uses the Tommy gun. Its weakness is players that constantly moves in the left or right direction. Its pistol, grenades, shielded enemies, siege units. Its impossible ability is throwing a dynamite that deals the same if not more damage than grenade. Wizards are one, if not the most important unit to spawn. It can shield up your allies, making it much more difficult to kill them. It is able to heal up your allies. With its fireball, it can burn your enemies to death, however it can be easily dodgeable. Its weakness is hellfires and probably grenades. I can't think of that many good counters against wizards just because of the shield ability alone. Its impossible ability is being able to electrocute your enemies. It is able to bypass shielded enemies, and it's impossible to dodge their attacks. If you got hit by one, then you would be immobilized for 2 seconds, and their attacks takes 3 to 4 seconds for it to be able to attack again, making it impossible to escape. Unless your team kills the wizards. Because the beam attack deals insane damage from the nuclears, it's best used against other tanky units such as giant monsters. It's also the best unit at countering UFOs and destructs. The fireballs that the nuclears spit out can't hit small moving enemies unless they are far away. Nuclears can be easily countered if your players aren't as retarded as the others by shooting down the nuclears with machine guns. Its size alone already is easy to shoot it down. Even new players with horrible aim can shoot at the nuclears with ease. As a leader, spamming snipers and helicopters works at taking down the nuclears. Its impossible ability is able to slowly burn units near the nuclear. The closer it is, the more damage it will deal. If the nuclears have reached near the gates or is at low health, they will nuke itself, destroying everything in its path unless it dies quickly. Let's just make this quick. Guest Puncher has high health, Rage Mode restores their HP, Attack SPPED and Mobility increases, and Helicopter and Assault Helicopter attacks from the air, is good against giant brutes and nuclears, and it deals a lot of damage when it's not handled correctly. Destruct rushes to the nearest building and does big boom boom. Can be easily killed by ranged weapons like Gatling gun. Airship Boss shoots out bullets, shoots out small and big missile mostly against buildings such as AA turrets, can be countered by AA missile and Stinger and helicopters. Hellfires is the best unit against new units such as wizards and guests. Explosion deals high damage, can't defend himself. MRLS is much better than Hellfires. One MRLS that costs about the same as 3 Hellfires performs much better and saves up population. It's big, so it's easy to hit, however its huge range balanced it out. Trying to be a good leader takes a lot of time and practice. So I recommend you to practice a bit on the experimental server. It's boring, yes, but it will help you a little bit. It's okay if you'll do mistakes. It's what practice is. You do mistakes, and then you learn from it. I've done a lot of mistakes too when I was a noob at leading. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, as long as you're having fun. Have a wonderful day.